Okay, we're going to continue on today. I found out something yesterday that I didn't know. These Damascus blades that look like this. The people in India made these things, in southern India. There's a special mine that they mine, this really hard iron ore that made really sharp and hard blades. The big curved blades gave the Muslims a big advantage in warfare. They took on the camels. They haul these, the Ishmaelites, the 12 princes of Arabia. They haul these blades from southern India up to Iran, Persia. And the Persians, the Iranians, they're the ones that distributed these blades all over to the Muslims. And the Muslims had a big advantage in warfare for a bunch of years because of these blades. It's a big, wide, sweeping blade with a big curve on it. But these blades were made in southern India at a special place, but they've run out of the iron ore has been mined out. So they can't hardly make one quite exactly like they used to, but they've got, mines close by that's similar, but not as good as those old original blades, because they were super hard and super sharp. And they came from, now the Indian people have Hindu. The Hindu religion is a real old religion. I think it is the world's oldest religion. And they have those Sanskrit texts that has a lot of knowledge in those Sanskrit texts, telling you how to do stuff. And so the people of India are the ones that found the mines and dug the mines out and created those blades. Now, I want to continue on in our Father's Word today. This is 2 Kings chapter 16. In the 17th year of Pekah, the son of Remaliah, Ahaz, the son of Jotham, king of Judah, began to reign. Ahaz was 20 years old when he became king, and he reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. And he did not do what was right in the sight of the Lord, in the sight of the Lord his God, as his father David had done. But he walked in the ways of the kings of Israel. Indeed, he made his son pass through the fire, according to the abomination of the nations whom the Lord had cast out from before the children of Israel. And he sacrificed and burned incense on the high places, on the hills, and under every tree. Then Rezin, king of Syria, and Pekah, the son of Remaliah, king of Israel, came up to Jerusalem to make war. And they besieged Ahaz, but could not overcome him. At that time, Rezin, king of Syria, captured Elath for Syria, and drove the men of Judah from Elath. Then the Edomites went to Elath and dwell there to this day. So Ahaz sent messengers to Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, saying, I am your servant and your son. Come up and save me from the hand of the king of Syria and from the hand of the king of Israel, who rise up against me. And Ahaz took the silver and the gold that he found in the house of the Lord and in the treasuries of the king's house, and sent it as a present to the king of Assyria. So the king of Assyria heeded him, for the king of Assyria went up against Damascus and took it, and carried its people captive to Kir, and killed Rezin. Now King Ahaz went to Damascus to meet Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, and saw an altar that was at Damascus. And King Ahaz sent to Urijah the priest and design of the altar and its pattern according to all its workmanship. Then Uriah the priest built an altar according to all that King Ahaz had sent from Damascus. So Uriah the priest made it before King Ahaz came back from Damascus. And when the king came back from Damascus, the king saw the altar, and the king approached the altar and made offerings on it. So he burned his burnt offerings and his grain offerings, and he poured his drink offering and sprinkled the blood of his peace offerings on the altar. He also brought the bronze altar, which was before the Lord, from the front of the temple, from between the new altar and the house of the Lord, and put it on the north side of the new altar. Then King Ahaz commanded Uriah the priest, saying, on the great new altar, burn the morning burnt offering, the evening grain offering, and the king's burnt sacrifice, and his grain offering, with the burnt offerings of all the people of the land, the grain offering and their drink offerings, and sprinkle on it all the blood of the burnt offerings and all of the blood of the sacrifice. And the bronze altar shall be for me to inquire by. Thus did Uriah the priest, according to all that King Ahaz commanded. Then King Ahaz cut off the panels of the carts and removed the lavers from them, and he took down the sea from the bronze oxen that were under it, and put it on a pavement of stones. He removed the Sabbath pavilion which they had built in the temple, and he removed the king's outer entrance from the house of the Lord on the account of the king of Assyria. Now the rest of the acts of Ahaz, which he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah? So Ahaz rested with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. Then Hezekiah, his son, reigned in his place. Now, this is 2 Kings chapter 17. In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, Hosea, the son of Elah, became king of Israel in Samaria, and he reigned for 9 years. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as the kings of Israel were before him. Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, came up against him, and Hosea became his vassal and paid him tribute money. And the king of Assyria uncovered a conspiracy by Hosea, for he had sent messengers to So, the king of Egypt, and brought no tribute to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him into prison. Now the king of Assyria went throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it for 3 years. In the 9th year of Hosea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away to Assyria and placed them in Hala and by the harbor, the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord, their God, who had brought them up out of the land of Egypt, from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and they had feared other gods, and had walked in the statutes of the nations, whom the Lord had cast out from before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel, which they had made. Also the children of Israel secretly did against the Lord their God things that were not right, and they built for themselves high places in all their cities, from watchtower to fortified city. They set up for themselves sacred pillars and wooden images on every high hill and under every green tree. There they burned incense on all the high places, like the nations whom the Lord had carried away before them. And they did wicked things to provoke the Lord